Hey guys, okay, let's hope that this is working. I can't see where I'm at on the camera. I can see I have a pussycat behind me. It is Rachel and it is Thankful Thursdays, and I have decided to come outside because it's kind of really beautiful, and I feel that a lot of these videos are quite reflective, and I kind of thought that the sound of the stream, and there were birds, and there's beautiful sunlight, is kind of a really nice place to kind of sit here and talk. So yeah, so here I am. I'm sat outside in my garden. I have my cup of tea. I have a cup of tea, nice big cup of tea. This week, okay, well, have I said it's Thankful Thursdays and it's Rachel? Well, this week, me and Cal are looking at basically replacing, well, basically in recovery, it's when we get to that stage whereby we're kind of trying to put things in our life that replace the eating disorder. For many of us, an eating disorder is an incredibly isolating illness. It's incredibly destructive when it comes to friendships and when it comes to relationships. It puts a lot of strain on both of those things, and it can kind of, I know certainly for me, it took me socially away from people. And so when I chose to recover, it was kind of, well, I have nothing, and you know, I used to cry about that to my mum, and I used to say, well, what's the point? I don't have anything in my life. Okay, I have you guys, you know, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I don't have a life anymore because the eating disorder's taken everything from me. And I think that a lot of people will relate to that. And so in terms of replacing the eating disorder with other things, and seeing the eating disorder as kind of a friend or a comfort, which I know for many of you it can be. Certainly for me, it kind of was the distraction. Did it comfort me? Yeah, probably, and that's probably why I stayed as ill for as long as I did. But you know, ultimately it became something that was just something of nothing really. It was just kind of something I did, and you know, it just destroyed everything in my life. So if we're talking now about letting go of that and finding things to replace it, I guess my thoughts were along the lines of, you know, okay, what are you going to do? You've chosen to recover, you've started down this path, you're trying to eat better, you're trying to keep yourself safe. I don't know what kind of eating disorder you're recovering from, but either way, you're trying not to manage your feelings, your emotions, your difficulties, arguments with friends, family, whatever. You're trying to cope in very different ways. So something that I think I might have mentioned before is something I kept called a happy book, and it was something that one of my best friends bought me, and she actually wrote a few things in it, and you know, it's kind of like, I know this makes you happy, I know that this makes you smile. That was something that helped me engage and helped me recognize what the things did actually make me happy. So I could sit there and be like, oh, there's nothing, I've got nothing in my life, nothing, you know, nothing important. Well, actually, if I take a look around me, I did. Oliver, come out here. Oscar. Sorry, it's the neighbour's cat, and he always comes in for food. You know, there are things that are in my life. I have, for a start, I have some of the best friends I could ever ask for. I have a responsibility to them. You know, they're my best friends, they're here for me. I've got a mum and a dad who adore me, a brother who adores me. You know, I've got godchildren who look up to me. I've got kids who I, you know, basically the family I work for, who look up to me. I've got, you know, 3 cats who love me. You know, I've got all of these things, and I need to start making use of these things. I need to start, I'm just checking the time, sorry. I need to find a way of engaging with these activities and allowing them to give me something, so that I don't feel I need to find something with the eating disorder. And so for me, it was slowly engaging myself in things. It was seeing more of my godchildren. it was making arrangements, as difficult as that was, in the week to maybe go for dinner with a friend. It was slowly rebuilding my life, and I got involved in university again. I've done a huge amount of volunteer work, and all of these things were a way of engaging me, occupying me, using, God, I used to write and write and write, I used to draw, I used to make collages, using different parts of my brain, just trying to engage myself, so that the eating disorder then becomes an insignificance, and it becomes something that, to be honest, you don't actually have the time to engage in. So, if you've got plans, you've made, right, I'm going to get up, I've got, I don't know, physiotherapy in the morning, and then, like, that's what I've had today, I've got my therapy this afternoon, and then meeting a friend for coffee, and then I'm probably going to go to the gym tonight. Okay, so that's kind of my day planned out. Well, where I don't have time to be pissing about with food, or or self-harming, or I'm actually living my life. And it was something that I saw with somebody very close to me over the summer, and it was this slow emergence from being somebody who was very withdrawn, very isolated, didn't really socialise, to somebody who actually was getting from saying, oh, I'm going to phone so and so, and I'm going to make this arrangement, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And in the end, I was quite happy to see that there wasn't room for an eating disorder there. And so I think that if you do struggle then with a relapse, you have to look at what you did have when things were better and say, well, do you know what, I had all of this, and surely this is worth more than an eating disorder. And I've got to tell you guys, an eating disorder is an eating disorder, and it's something that we develop, use, cope, I don't know, it's there, but we can live without it. And the biggest thing that I always say to people in recovery is, it needs you, okay? It needs you, because it feeds off you. If you say to it, you know what, I'm not, just fuck off, it can't live, and it will eventually die. So for me, yeah, it's pretty much died, and there's maybe 2% there, but for the most part it's died because I refuse to let it live on me. And I think that's the attitude you've got to have, that it is the dependent, pathetic thing that needs you. It can't breathe, it can't live without you. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, and I hope you enjoyed the whole sun and garden scene, and I will talk to you next week, guys. God bless, see you later, bye.